P3 Project by Focus to Light, Episode 5, Slipstream. My fellow Ponyville citizens, this is your mayor speaking, with terrible news for us all. Our small town currently faces the largest meteorological emergency to surface since our Weather Pegasus division was first formed. Fierce winds are expected to make normal daily activities nigh impossible to carry out. For this reason, it is advised that you all stay in your homes until the storm has passed. I stay again. Stay in your homes and inform any pony you know to do the same. We'll see each other on the other side of this to discuss cleanup efforts. Thank you very much. Oh dear. Unfortunately, Rarity had been hours away from the town meeting when it had taken place. Now on her return trip, she could see Ponyville in the distance, but she could also see several branches, fruits, and supplies swirling every which way in thin air, which could only mean one thing. Rarity hated storms. They were nothing but ugly, ugly chaos, threatening her chosen lifestyle of order, cleanliness, and grace. She galloped forward, hoping to make it to her house before the worst of it. However, the closer she got to the town, the more obvious it became that the worst of the storm had already been there. She met more and more wind resistance the closer she came to Ponyville, till her pace was forced to slow down despite her strongest physical and magical efforts. Oh dear, Verity said again, as the reality of the situation dawned on her. She might very well be stuck out here until the storm literally blew over. But if it blew in her direction, no, I could not accept this, she shouted to the storm. You will prevent me from— Ouch! A branch hit her in the face. It was small enough not to leave any bruises, but sudden enough to break her concentration and send her basket of freshly picked herbs flying to be scattered by the wind. Oh dear, she said once more. Her voice lacked a great sense of defeat. Her horn glowed as she tried one last resort. This is Rarity of Ponyville. It's just any pony out there, any pony at all, whether your fellow visitors needs help. Please, I started in this store with no clear path and I— So pony call for a taxi? Huh? She looked up to see the one pony she would expect to answer a distress call that fast. Rainbow Dash! The speed blue Pegasus swooped low. Hurry and grab on! I'll get you back home! Gladly. Rarity jumped on Dash's back, and the two were soon sky high. Why am I glad to see you? Same here. When you and a few other ponies did show up for the meeting, the mayor requested an air patrol, and I followed here to check out near the village limits. Awfully gracious of you, but my word, how was that awful natural disaster even allowed to happen in the first place? Rainbow Dash huffed. Hey, we ain't perfect, okay? Weather ponies made a bad prediction, and I'm a lot better at creating and preventing storms than messing around with what's already in progress. Whoa! Hang on, got to do a barrel roll. Verity did so, streaked as her whirl went from right side to upside down and right side up again, all in the name of avoiding a large chunk of tree. When it was over, however— Look, I can see my house. We're almost there. Get that door open then. I can only slow down so much. One magic spell later, the door was open, and the two swooped into Rarity's house. Though not as gracefully as either would have liked, they promptly collided to Rarity's favorite dressmaking modeling and ponyquin, followed up by sliding across the floor, upset nearly the entire boutique in their wake. The two moaned as they recovered, still inside the mess. Rainbow Dash was the first to stand. Phew! She looked around, surveying the light properly damaged. Well, it's like Grandma Dash always used to say. Any cracks you can try away from is— A shrill scream stopped the Pegasus in the middle of her proverb. She looked around frantically. What is— Where's the danger? Right here, moaned Rarity, just waiting to announce a shovel maniac cut. Just look at us! With an annoying groan, Rainbow Dash fell over. Are you serious? Rainbow Dash threw up her hose. We just escaped a huge windstorm. Of course we're going to get a little messed up. Rarity nodded, but remained resolute as she walked around her boutique. Quite true, but that does not mean we should take it lying down. We look absolutely dreadful right now. She looked at herself in the still-standing centerpiece of mirrors and shuddered. One might even say abominable. You really are serious, Rainbow Dash said. As that storm we just escaped from? Yes, I must get to work on sorting ourselves right away. Yeah, well, you do that. I'm going to work on important things like— hang on. Rainbow Dash stopped her tracks. Did you say we look dreadful? Yes, we, as in plural. Rarity stepped in front of Dash, who, after fighting the storm for as long as she had, was more than a little ruffled. Right now, in fact, she was looking downright shaggy. Coat, mane, tail, and all. Even her cutie mark showed signs of fuzziness. Its rainbow lightning bolt design looked nowhere near as sharp as usual. You're usually somewhat unkempt, but this storm has done a number on even you today, Rarity said. But not to worry. All I need to do is find the right. Rainbow Dash interrupted. Don't bother. I beg your pardon. Gee, Rainbow Dash, thanks for saving my life, because that awful windstorm might have actually done something worse to mess up my mane. That's why my other pony a second ago said we would through your door, but oh no, not Rarity. Rarity blinked, beginning to get the message. Maybe no. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. Professor Stewart, I am absolutely ungrateful. Save it, Dash huffed. I know you are, and I know you can't help it. You're a resident beauty snob, right? I might have accidentally cited you, Rainbow Dash, but I'm sure that language is not necessary. Unfortunately for Rarity, Rainbow Dash was now on a roll. She paced around the house, pointing out the various beauty appliances as she spoke. Braid big curl, dress and accessorize, wash and blow dry. And for what? What the heck does all this have besides being able to admire herself in these sickeningly used mirrors? She turned around to directly face Rarity, as the unicorn had done to her earlier. You know what, Rarity? I actually like how you look right now. That was a surprise. You do. Yeah, makes you look like you might actually be a normal pony who might not be afraid to do anything other than fawn and fluff and be scared that a tiny bow might be out of place. Right now, you almost look interesting. But hey, what would a dreadful looking abomination know about that? Most other ponies would have taken offense to such a tongue-lashing. However, Rarity had long since been used to being called vain, and even shallow due to her face and ease of outward appearances. It took her a long while, but she eventually came to grips with why she was who she was. Words such as Rainbow Dash's no longer bothered her. Instead, she stared at the pony who was chewing her out, not blankly, however, but intently. Unbeknownst to Dash, she had been looking for something for the last few minutes, looking for a telltale sign, and she finally found it. She finally understood. Rainbow Dash was indeed doing what she did best, putting forth a very, very forceful attitude in response to a matter she felt strongly about. What that matter had been, however, was not the one she was actually speaking of. Any other pony would have fallen for it, but there was no fooling a specialist of appearance and mood. The biggest last sentence had given her away. Rarity smiled accurately. Rainbow Dash, there's hope for you yet. Rainbow Dash started towards the door. Well, if you got nothing to say for yourself, then I'm gonna go now. Like the rest of you guys, my house is about 500 feet up. With these winds, it's probably not even where I left it. Gotta go look for it. Smell you later, or hey, maybe you'll smell me. Rarity held up her hoof. Wait! Wait for what? I need to give you a good grooming before you leave. Rainbow Dash stood, frozen again. You just don't get it, do you? On the contrary, Rarity said in earnest. I understand now completely. And if I can't civilized convince you to stay, then I simply must beg for you to trust me. Allow me this chance to make up for my selfishness. By grooming me, said impatient Rainbow Dash. Yes. Rarity smiled and nodded. Please, don't make me beg. Rainbow Dash stood still, pondering Rarity's request, then walked back towards her. I don't even know why I wanted you to do this. Miraculously, Rarity's main grooming station had been largely undamaged in the crash. Thus, she led Rainbow Dash to it, and with a glow of her unicorn's horn, her brush and comb were put to work, moving intently in midair. Now, the first thing we do is establish some semblance of order, using the wide comb and thick brush should help with that. With alternating strokes, the business ends of Rarity's grooming tools were applied to Rainbow Dash's coat, mane, and tail. The Pegasus had braced herself for a rough procedure. However, as time wore on, it was soon clear she had nothing to fear. In fact, the strokes had gotten firmer, but also softer, to the point where it felt more like a gentle massage than a complicated grooming session. Whoa! Hey! Rainbow Dash sighed by herself. This actually feels nice. She exhaled again, the faint traces of sleepiness coming over her. Well, naturally, Rarity said, if we suppose my customers express personal preference of my best technique 2 to 1 over standard boutiques. Rainbow Dash yawned. Are you Plainfield's only boutique?
Why, yes, it's basically not standard, but unique. Now, from here on out, I'll be using finer tools. I need to know when I'm done, so feel free to relax as much as you want, or even sleep if you're tired. Worry not about defending me, I won't be.
Okay. And Rainbow Dash did just that.
Us, Rainbow Dash.
The sound of her own name being softly called woke her from her slumber all too soon. She actually felt something sliding across her own mane. Looking up, saw was no longer beauty tools, but Rarity's front hoof.
Ah, there you are, said Rarity. All done now, you may rise.
Rainbow Dash mumbled, still only half conscious.
Do I gotta? You said you have a house to look for, did you not?
With a heavy sigh, Rainbow Dash got up, yawned, and said,
Guess you're right.
Before leaving, she looked in the mirror. With sleeping eyes, she could make out a few hints of perfectly straightened mane, luster all around her body.
You know what? That's actually not half bad. Straighter than I'm used to, though. Well, I'll be seeing you. Safe journey to you.
Rainbow Dash opened the door to a small amount, so as not let the windstorm enter the house, and flew out, closing the door behind her. Rarity simply tried her way to said door, and began counting down from 20. Once she reached 8,
Sweet!
Rarity noted she was early. Then again, Rainbow Dash's speed, the count probably could have been started from 10. Seconds later, she could hear hard, fast knocks on the door. Rarity reopened it, greeting Rainbow Dash with a knowing smile.
Holy horsey! Birdie, what the?
Rarity was still smiling.
The wind. That windstorm feels like nothing flying through it. It's blowing just as hard. I know it's blowing just as hard, but I had to fight it like crazy earlier. But now it's like butter and I'm a hot knife.
Rainbow Dash gripped the white unicorn by her front legs hyperactively.
Birdie, what did you do to me?
Keeping her cool in the tense moment, Rarity simply replied,
I simply gave you my Pegasus special for your taunts on my dad. Pegasus special? What's that?
With a flip of her mane, Rarity told her.
Then, you're hardly the first of your time to come through my establishment, Rainbow Dash. My Pegasus special is a one-of-a-kind grooming procedure that helps to keep ponies at their most aerodynamic.
Aerodynamic. Rainbow Dash rushed past the mirror. Now fully awake, she could see what Rarity meant as she grasped a positively glowing pony and stared back at her through the glass. Her coat was smooth, Kmart was perfect, and every single color of her mane and tail stood out, vying for equal attention, radiating delight. She shook both, and saw them more vigorously in the air without a single tangle. Every single strand had been cared for on an individual level. Rainbow Dash knew that Rarity was dedicated to her work, but had no idea it had gone this far. Before she could ask how Rarity did, the unicorn answered her, as if on cue.
A special order of combing, brushing, air fluffing, and laying down a coat of my super special, super secret, and completely all-contact strength training, monsieur.
Rarity walked over to meet her latest satisfied customer, deciding not to mention that the herbs she lost today in windstorm were the very ones she used to make said mixture. They had taken care of Rainbow Dash and officially exhausted her reserve supply. But it's Rarity.
I don't think she cares. As part of the package, rings were streamlined.
Rainbow Dash spread hers. It was true. She'd never seen her span so symmetrical, so precise.
Whoa, razor's edge. I haven't even noticed that part.
Rarity chuckled.
Miss Pink-Eyed ponies don't see much like you are.
In a flash, Rainbow Dash was back outside, putting Rarity's work through his full paces. With a cry of "Yahoo!" she could be heard as she performed loop-de-loops in a windstorm with hardly the effort she needed before her visit. When she returned, she was much calmer, much happier.
I can look styling and stay fast. Rarity, you're officially forgiven, then some. Glad to hear it. You told me before that you wished to go to the performing arts, yes? Well, their appearance counts as much as skill, if not more. Yeah, the Wonderbolt's value style just as much as speed, said Rainbow Dash. That much I know. And now you have an edge,
said Rarity, before shedding her bemused demeanor for a more serious, sincere tone.
A little earlier, I noticed that, while all you were telling me about not how caring you will look, you sounded quite sensitive about the regardless. You all made a big show of convincing us that you're a pony of function as opposed to form, but
Rarity stared closer.
If I may pry, there's something deeper at work here, isn't there?
After a few moments of hesitation, Rainbow Dash sighed.
I
She blushed, still not believing she was actually about to tell any pony this.
Don't really have anything against prettying myself, or any pony that makes himself look good. I used to do a lot more growing up, but I also used to get a lot of cracks, because I didn't try to do so as often as other ponies.
Rarity nodded but said nothing. Sometimes a willing ear was the best a pony could do.
I always just figured spending so much time in America in the way of practice. And if I was going to be the fastest in Equestria, something had to go.
Ramadas's voice led to softness and uncertainty.
I think I made the right decision. I'm definitely totally fast now, but sometimes, well, I look at other ponies, especially ones who come out of your place, and
Rarity put her hoof to Rainbow Dash's lips, allowing her to trail off.
shh, I understand. Your secret's safe with me. Appreciated,
said Dash.
seriously.
Rarity smiled again.
Though I may sometimes comment on other ponies' looks without thinking, rest assured I find your outlook admirable, especially when it's officially been proven that speed and strength can withstand the forces of nature far more easily than beauty.
Both ponies stared and also giggled as they walked through the boutique.
Not your fault. One size hardly fits all,
said Rainbow.
Indeed. Still, I wouldn't have found myself any other way, and ever since we've been friends, you've always had said the same. Perhaps it's high time you believed your own words, especially since I love to believe them for you. Rarity,
For the first time since he could remember, Rainbow Dash didn't feel like moving. She never stopped doing so, sighing as she felt the unicorn's words hit her close to home. Seeing this, Rarity touched the Pegasus' cheek with her hoof, the best interest allowing their heart-to-heart to reach its zenith.
you're beautiful, Rainbow Dash, she said, and the way you chose to show that beauty, it's a decision that no pony can ever take away from you, unless you let them. Don't ever let them. I won't,
Rainbow Dash whispered. I refuse to. Rarity smiled.
Do you've already won?
Rainbow Dash nodded, then mumbled something.
Come again.
Slightly louder than this time, Rainbow Dash said,
I said, wow, beautiful. Don't usually get called that. Think nothing of it. I only apologize for not seeing it earlier. Very? Yes,
she asked, half a second before finding herself in the world's fastest embrace. Nobody had ever called her immediately upon receiving a Pegasus special before. She quickly made mental notes about how soft the process had left Rainbow Dash before returning to Jester.
It's just the conclusions, Dash said. I'm really sorry about the cracks I made about your trade, and your liking beauty, and all that stuff. You're legit, you know? The real deal. Thanks.
She backed away, then took Rarity's hoof and kissed the back of it.
For everything.
Rarity stepped back in surprise as the two matched blushes.
Oh my, you're all as adventurous as they say, I see.
Rainbow Dash nodded with renewed confidence.
Only to those who deserve it. Just so you know, I'll be back next week for another one of these. The all new Rainbow Dash is gonna make lightning speed look good. I'll be ready, Rarity said. Though, of course, I probably won't be. No pony ever is.
Dash said as she flew out of Rarity's house.
You're too slow to see me coming! And you'll always will be,
Rarity answered her mind.
I trust you to make sure of it. The end, for now. Now on to the review. These fics, what can I say? You probably already guessed what I'm going to say. I love them. They all are sweet, caring, and show how deep the friendships get. If there's one thing I'd like to know is how similar Book's writing is to my own. My little brother, whenever he sees me writing friendship moments between any of the characters I write, especially when it comes down to the main six, he'll usually joke with me or riff at me saying, I think my brother has problems writing heterosexual couples, or heterosexual friendships, to the point where it seems like I'm trying to ship a character, and I'm not. I can't begin to tell you how many times I'm writing down a fic, or sometimes I'll write down some good friendshipping moments in a story, and I'll immediately see in the comments on one of my fics, oh my god, I'm totally shipping these. Which, can happen. After all, friendship is just a few steps away from romance and falling in love. I'm always of the belief that you gotta be friends with a girl first before you could truly fall in love with them. And I think Buckus excels at this, writing these deep interpersonal relationships between the characters, showing not just the deep friendships that are there, but also how these friendships could possibly blossom to more if you want. However, they can also stay so deep and close. Throughout these past few episodes we've done, we see the backs of these characters, who they are, and their personalities, allowing their inner selves to shine through. Whether it be Rarity's desire to bring out your inner beauty, Rainbow Dash's cockiness, but about her own gentleness that's hidden deep within, Pinkie Pie's silliness, but also her empathy, Twilight's snarkiness, but at the same time her desire to genuinely learn and to grow and to be something more than she already has been. Fluttershy's shyness, but also her will and her inner strength. In each of these stories, we've been seeing the girls. And we also are seeing pairings that we don't usually get to see all that often. Shoot, I still think we need more Rainbow Dash and Rarity episodes since I really love seeing that pairing. Not in a shipping way! I just mean in a friendshipping type of way, seeing their differences play off each other. And as the Rarity investigates, I think these two play off each other pretty damn well. These characters also prove my point about when it comes to characters and plot. These plots are basic, only about 1,000 to 3,000 words each. But what made them so engaging? What made them so readable? And what made your heart go pear-pat? The characters. It's these characters. These wonderful three-dimensional characters that we relate to, that we can put into any scene. I've always said that I love the adventurous two-parters at the beginning and end of every season. They're what I live for. They're what attracted me to the show in the first place. Well, we can never forget what makes this show grand. The slice-of-life adventures that happen in between those larger-scale adventures. Whether it be Rarity opening up a new store and every pony having to try to fix it up before Rarity even knows this is what went wrong, or Applejack having to deal with her first lie and learning how to become a better farmer. It's these stories that guide us and make us want to see more. Oh, sure, the adventures will always be there, but it's a slice of life where all the character development and all the stories and all the silliness happens. That's what attracts us to these guys. That's what makes them likable. Well, that was one down. Speaking of adventures, I think it's about time we left these precious one-shots and move on to something bigger. Hit it. You know the story of the unification of the three tribes, where how three ponies came together in harmony and friendship, and used the light of friendship to destroy the Wendigos and to fight back the cold. But what if we threw a nail into it, and one of those members, three leaders, died before the unification could even begin to happen? What would become of Equestria then? The world around them would change, and who would be left standing? Princess Rarity? Starting tomorrow, the world will change. History will be rewritten. But heroes will rise. Heartwarming evil. See you then.